2, 1. Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Shift Change videocast.
Thom, I guess, videocast.
Yes, videocast. You can see us. Hello.
You're welcome. Congratulations.
For at least half of us, you're welcome.
Oh. I'm working on it.
Tom Sitch.
Yes.
I'm Matt. This is Tom.
Hello.
If you haven't listened to the Shift Change podcast, shame on you.
It was great.
We're happy to have you.
It still is great. It was great. Do we refer to the podcast in the past tense?
I think it's the past tense now.
Okay, so this is not episode 40, because I was ready to go with Patty Lalime.
This is episode 1. This is Jonas Enroth.
Okay. Jonas Enroth videocast.
Jonas Enroth videocast. All right, Tom. Well, the first thing that we want to talk about in the first videocast
is Spider-Man. Thank you, Matthew.
No, it's Rex Ryan, but we can talk a little bit about Spider-Man.
Good. By the way,
posters?
Look at this. This is a nice looking studio, right?
It's his work.
Yes.
All right, Rex Ryan. Your first impressions of Rex Ryan's press conference.
Oh, I loved it. Anyone who called yesterday and didn't love it, like we had maybe 3 people who called and just kind of complained, and I was just like, man, lighten up. What the hell do you want him to do on the first day? He can't actually go out and win you a game today, so you might as well just do what he did, which is say everything absolutely the right way. He seemed genuine, passionate, because people can say the right things, but he had the right demeanor, I think. He did not come off as remotely fake.
No, and I didn't think he was overly cocky either. No. I thought he was the right level of cocky.
Yes.
There's overly cocky guaranteeing a Bills Super Bowl, and then there would be underly cocky going, hopefully we make the playoffs. And he was neither one of those things.
Right down the middle of that. Playoffs, we're going.
Playoffs, we're going. I like that.
We're going to, chase the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Yeah.
I generally agree with what he said. If you get into the playoffs, then you have a chance.
Yeah.
And talking about some of the ones of the past, the New York Giants get into the Super Bowl after going 9-7, right? So they wouldn't be the first team to have a run in the playoffs. And to not go over the top, I like that. He had some one-liners. He had the room eaten out of his hand a little bit.
The Cookie Gilchrist stuff.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. And trying to relate to Buffalo without sounding fake. There was always a fakeness to Doug Marrone doing that that I never liked. But the thing that stuck out to me the most is the reactions to the E.J. Manuel questions. The E.J. Manuel questions were going to come, and he was set with an answer of, I'm evaluating, which to me is not, I can't wait to work with EJ.
Right, it's...
and then we talked to Doug Whaley today on the show, and it was the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, he did only play 14 games. It sounds to me like they're not committed to EJ Manuel.
Well, I mean, he also answered the Mark Sanchez question very directly, and... I mean, normally what you might expect if you thought they were going to just like, well, we're going to roll with EJ and Jeff Toole would be like, we're not really going to talk about guys who aren't on the team right now. But it's like, sure, we're going to look at Mark Sanchez. We'll look at whoever. We'll bring in some competition. We need competition. They said competition. And Jeff Toole is not competition.
No.
So,
despite the one guy who calls off the air and says... Hey,
stop, Jeff Toole guy.
Stop it, Jeff
Toole
guy.
I know you're not watching this because how could you ever?
He probably doesn't have the internet.
There's no chance.
If he's Jeff Toole guy, he hasn't looked up Jeff Toole's numbers or anything about him.
Yes, but aside from Jeff Toole, I feel like there's going to be another quarterback. Whether he's going to be the starter or not, TBD. But you get the sense they're not afraid to pull the trigger and, they're not going to worry about EJ's feelings. Like, hey, do something good or you're not going to start.
The other thing that stuck out to me, one more thing on Sanchez. On Mike and Mike today, Rex Ryan was on and said he's still got the tattoo. Do you remember the tattoo?
Yes, the tattoo.
Of I think it's right here. It's his wife
in a
Mark Sanchez jersey.
And I don't think she's wearing any pants.
Probably not.
Nah.
Now, if I was tattooing the wife, I probably wouldn't have her in pants either. That's my body. I could put on what I want.
Yes.
So the other thing that stuck out is him saying, this is my last shot. This is my last job. That he's got a little bit of, rabid dog in him. I have to win here, and I have to do it right now. And the thing is that when talking about how attractive this job was, I always thought it was really attractive because of the roster.
Yes.
You don't have to draft a weapon. You've got one in Sammy Watkins. You don't have to draft anyone on defense.
He seemed to recognize that, too.
Right, and I like that he sees this as an opportunity to come in and win now. Not, well, we're going to rebuild the program, boys.
Yeah, no,
like,
it's not that
I got to
at
win
all.
this year.
Yeah, you get the sense that he's just locked and loaded, ready to go. He even said, you know, as long as Doug Whaley keeps drafting players the way he has been, we'll be fine. So you just kind of get the sense they're going to do, you know, what they have allotted this offseason. I'm not expecting anything huge. They're going to roll with mostly the same roster. Maybe bring in an offensive lineman or two. That'd be fine. But other than that, they're ready to go. And he seems to recognize that they can make the playoffs with this roster. And, you know, if it were for a player or two here or there last year, they would have made it. So why not?
Did you I thought there was a little bit of cracks on Doug Marrone.
Oh, easily. The loyalty thing.
Yes, the loyalty.
The fan base deserves a coach who's as loyal as they are, paraphrasing. Obviously. That's obviously Doug Marrone. There's no way you would say that otherwise.
The punting thing, too, I thought.
Yeah.
We're not going to have a punting program or something.
Right, we're not
Masters in punting.
We're not going to feature the punter on our offense. So, yeah, I'm expecting things to be a little bit different in that regard.
The only thing I don't like about this Rex Ryan hire, because I like almost everything about it. Mm-hmm. I agree with Terry Pagula completely that if you had to hire someone who is ready to come in and own the locker room right away, not learn on the job with a roster that's ready to win.
Someone who already knows how to win games and can just take a roster and say, let's go.
When a guy is over the top with his personality, sometimes you will get, oh, he's overrated because of his personality. Oh, the media loves him because of his personality.
I do, by the way.
I do like his personality. I don't think that's the case, though. I don't think that's how people look at it. Anybody in Buffalo, we like the personality. Mm-hmm. And like when he comes out and says, number 4 defense, I want to be number 1. Like, that's entertaining and fun. I think that people like him because he went to 2 AFC championships.
Right, and then they come back at you with, well, he hasn't done anything in 4 years. Well, his roster hasn't been as good as the Bills is right now in the last 4 years. Yes, he went to the AFC championship game with kind of the same setup you have now, minus Sammy Watkins. They didn't have Sammy Watkins.
No, nothing close.
Yeah, so they went with Mark Sanchez and a great defense. Well, just get your version of Mark Sanchez. You got the great defense, and you have Sammy Watkins. You could have C.J. Spiller. Maybe, Rex even knows how to use him. That'd be great. But it's not the Jets team of the past 4 years that he's inherited, because one of his big things is, I need, a lockdown corner. I think he's going to do great with Stephon Gilmore.
Stephon Gilmore has to be the happiest guy in the world about that. He was put on just one side last year. He wasn't moved around a lot. I think they'll do that. I'm interested to see the offensive coordinator, though. Mm-hmm. I mean, that might be the biggest part of this hire. We know he's going to do well with the defense, but Greg Roman, what does this guy bring to the table? I like watching a little bit of video with San Francisco and seeing how much they move people around, and just creativity keeps coming up with this guy, and that's something we never saw. What do you got for nerd stuff? You got any nerd stuff?
Gigantic news.
Gigantic nerd news.
Not official, but from a very good source. It's from Latino Review, who breaks almost all of the nerd comic book movie news. It seems right now, for the uninitiated, Spider-Man is owned by Sony. All Spider-Man movies are by Sony. The Avengers, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, the Hulk, those guys, Marvel owns their own rights. Those movies are by Marvel Studios. What we have now, reportedly, is Sony is going to allow Marvel to put Spider-Man in the third Avengers movie.
Spider-Man will go in the third Avengers movie, which will come out when?
2018.
What do you think's going to happen in this next Avengers movie?
Oh, lots of stuff.
I saw the trailer.
No the new trailer during the College National Championship was great. They've obviously done a lot more post-production. There's a fully fleshed out fight scene between Iron Man in his gigantic armor versus the Hulk. It's Hulkbuster Iron Man armor. That's the whole point. Mm-hmm. He made it to fight the Hulk, and Hulk is obviously under some sort of mind control or weird stuff. Maybe under the influence of the Scarlet Witch, who is another new character in this Elizabeth Olsen. She was just the one looking kind of like goth and hanging out with the guy with the silver hair.
I was wondering about what her character is going to mean when I saw the trailer. Is she good? Is she bad?
They start off, I think, as bad guys, but I think by the end you might see... One of the other rumored things is by the end of Avengers 2, the roster will be shaken up. So maybe a death, maybe some people just being like, screw this is lame, I don't want to play with you anymore, Iron Man, because we know the next Captain America movie is Civil War, which is Captain America versus Iron Man. So this is probably going to set the stage for this. Probably because Captain America is pissed at Iron Man for creating Ultron. So I think a lot of bad stuff's going to happen. It looked very dark.
Yeah, yeah, it did. Really did.
No real moments of levity in the trailer, but given Joss Whedon, the writer-director, I would expect there to be some funny one-liners and such, as in the first Avengers movie. But no Spider-Man yet. But when that happens in 2018, I will cry. I will shed tears of joy everywhere. Because I always loved the Spider-Man movies. He's always been my favorite, and watching him self-contained is great. But, like, just watching him on the same screen with, like, Captain America, it'll blow my mind.
Spider-Man is my guy, too.
Yeah.
Spider-Man and Batman were always right there.
I think everyone would say they're the best of each DC and Marvel. It's pretty... I would hope it's unanimous. If you don't agree with that, you're probably just trying to be different, because it's fun to be different.
Or sometimes. You're a Superman fan, then you're a loser.
Oh, God, shut up, Superman fan.
All right. This is our first video cast. More to come.
Yeah.
Hey.